Hello and welcome to the channel. As a big fan of the GS series, after owning the 1250, it was time to buy a new bike. Naturally, the new 1300 GS and GSA were my first choices. But unfortunately, after extensive test rides, I found they simply didn't stir enough emotion to justify a purchase. So, after testing numerous models, the decision fell on the XR. After the break-in period and several thousand kilometers in the saddle, I can confidently say that choosing the XR was absolutely the right call. This is a frighteningly good motorcycle. The suspension on the XR is close to perfect. The bike carves through corners like it's on rails, while at the same time offering an impressive level of comfort. Even poorly maintained roads can't throw the XR off balance, as the suspension readily absorbs all the bumps, providing an immense sense of safety in the process. At the rider's input, the XR leans into corners effortlessly, follows the chosen line as if it's being cut with a scalpel, and allows cornering at insanely high speeds, all without drama. What's even more impressive is how easily it allows mid-corner corrections. It responds instantly and without resistance, reinforcing the feeling of complete control. In short, the XR does everything the rider asks of it, effortlessly and safely. I honestly can't imagine what kind of mistake would be needed to knock this bike off balance. The brakes are fantastic and doesn't need much elaboration. There's a clear initial bite, and the braking force is easy to modulate with just one finger. Even under repeated heavy braking, there's no noticeable fade. Precise, powerful, and confidence-inspiring. The gearbox is sharp and precise. The quick shifter, both up and down, works flawlessly, even during shifts from first to second gear, which is often a rough spot on many bikes. The engine is amazing, with enough torque at low revs and absolute madness at higher RPMs, accompanied by a supersport soundtrack. At lower revs, the engine is too quiet for my taste, but we can thank the latest environmental regulations for that. Also irritating is the high idle RPM on a cold start, again due to emission standards. It helps the engine warm up faster and thus reduces exhaust emissions. If I had to point out a flaw, it would definitely be the idle, which is accompanied by quite a bit of mechanical engine noise. But the moment you twist the throttle, that's all forgotten. The engine, gearbox, and suspension work in perfect harmony, making the XR blisteringly fast, which can very quickly become dangerous for your driver's license. Likewise, the sheer power of this bike and the suspension's capability require a cool head and experience, because it's very easy to fall under the XR's spell, and that's when riding turns into speeding at insanely high velocities. In everyday riding, the XR is as tame as you want it to be. It allows relaxed cruising at 3000 RPM, and you don't even need to downshift to overtake. Just roll on the throttle, but it's happiest when ridden above 4000 RPM. As soon as you start exploring the upper rev range, the XR transforms into a real beast. The acceleration is lightning fast, accompanied by a beautiful engine sound, and every straight stretch of road suddenly feels too short. Some owners complain about engine vibrations, but both the bike I tested and my own XR have negligible vibrations. There's a slight buzz in the handlebars, just enough to let you know the engine is running, while there's no noticeable vibration in the seat or foot pegs at all. The entire electronics package on the bike is perfect, fast and intuitive, allowing the rider to change suspension or engine settings on the go without even taking their eyes off the road. No bike is perfect, and the XR has two notable flaws. Thankfully, both are easily fixable. The first issue is the seat, which isn't comfortable enough for all-day riding. Besides being uncomfortable, it's also poorly shaped. If you try to shift sideways, your leg leans on the side panels, move backward, and you run into a raised section that pushes you uncomfortably forward toward the tank. The second issue is wind protection, specifically the windscreen, which causes quite a bit of turbulence, and the wind noise is very loud. I installed a small deflector on the windscreen, something I've been using on all my bikes for years, and things are significantly better, but still far from truly solved. Despite the seat and windscreen issues, I'm absolutely thrilled with the XR. These two downsides are relatively easy to address, and I plan to cover those solutions in upcoming videos. Once sorted, I believe the XR will be very close to the perfect motorcycle,